and the submen. I mean, that's really got my head in a spin now. I mean, like I don't know whether I'm going to have to rethink it or not. But I mean, I was assuming that the purpose of this, that we did not want to create a class of people dedicated to menial labor. And that was the exact opposite of what we wanted. I remember telling Graham Priest, well, don't you know that there's going to be more education and less specialization, and there's going to be more education, and work is going to be reorganized, there's going to be more free time, and you will no longer have a menial labor class. And he said to me, out of the question. And I should have asked him, why is it out of the question? I should have asked him to spell it out for me in great detail, but unfortunately, it's a failing of mine. I never asked the other guy, why did you just say what you said? I never asked that. I mean, I wish that I'd asked that many more times. But in other words, he said, you'll never get rid of the menial class. I thought that the point of communism was precisely to get rid of it. And I mean, to restructure work completely. I mean, communism is intrinsically high-tech. And I mean, there is no telling how profoundly work would be restructured. But at the same time, I mean, to the extent that there continues to be necessary labor, I mean, in the first place, when the first atomic bomb was detonated, you can forget about getting rid of the state. I mean, there isn't going to be any getting rid of the state after the first atomic bomb was detonated. I mean, it just becomes a question of what you do with it. But, I mean, there is going to be a central authority. I mean, like we aren't going to have everybody doing their own thing for the very simple reason that technology has placed too much power for destruction into individual hands. I mean, that would simply destroy the community. So, I mean, to the extent that there would be necessary labor, it would be assigned, and I mean, hopefully, I mean, people would be recruited, they would be doing what they were suited for, but I mean, of course, the Army claims to be doing that right now. I mean, so that, this requires a lot of thought. But on the other hand, I mean, there's a big difference, because the Army, in a very important sense, is a prison. And communism would not be or should not be. But I mean, the idea of recruiting people, training them to be surgeons, I mean, there's no way around that. And then once you have been trained to be a brain surgeon and you're qualified